Hey guys, how you going? Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing really well. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why you may not be seeing progress in your weight loss or your fitness journey. I see this time and time again in clients when I talk to you guys online, and I've also experienced it myself, where you get to a point in your journey where you stop seeing progress. It might just be 1 week or it might drag on a little bit longer, and instead of just keep going, it actually makes you want to give up. But I'm here to tell you that it's completely normal, it's okay, and we're going to go through a few of the reasons why you may not be seeing progress and what you can do about it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is that you're using the wrong methods to track your progress and you're doing it too often. So typically, if you're on a weight loss journey, you're going to use weighing yourselves on the scales as your main method of tracking your progress. Now, weighing ourselves is pretty ingrained in us. You know, when we've been growing up, it's always been about how much you weigh. If you go to the doctors, they weigh you to test your BMI, and every gym changing room has a pair of scales in it. However, we do also know that it's a really inaccurate way to measure your progress. I was really intrigued to see just how ingrained in us this was, and so over on my Instagram stories I asked you guys a heap of questions a couple of weeks ago, and I was really interested to see the answers. But one of the questions was, do you weigh yourself to track your progress? And 66% or 2/3 of people said that they do weigh themselves. Now, there is absolutely no problem with weighing yourself if you are aware that you're going to be seeing fluctuations, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you've gained fat. You know, these could be down to how much salt you've been consuming, if you're holding on to water, if you've been training more often. It could be down to your sleep or your hormones, or if you've even been to the toilet that day. The problem really comes when we are aware of that, but we don't really account for it. So I was interested to explore this point more, so I asked you guys, if you were to see an increase of weight on the scales, would that make you more likely to want to give up? Of which 72% of people said that it would. I then asked that 72% of people whether they knew the reasons why weighing yourself on the scale was an unreliable marker of your progress, of which 77% of people said that they did. So what that really says to me is that the only thing weighing yourself and that number on the scale really affects, it's not your health and it's not your fitness level and it's really not your progress, it just affects your mindset. I mean, ask yourself, what does that number really mean? Like, actually really think about it and try and come up with an answer. What does that number mean? Literally means nothing at all. I don't even know why we weigh ourselves. It doesn't tell you how healthy you are, how fit you are, how strong you are, how nice of a person you are. It literally just tells you how much weight you hold. And that's it, in general mass. Bones, muscle, fat, water, food, everything that's in your body at one point. That's what it's telling you. It's so, so irrelevant. Now, don't get me wrong, I used to weigh myself every single day. When I was losing weight, and particularly actually after I'd lost the weight, I got into a really bad habit of weighing myself every single day to track my progress. And again, looking back, I can tell that it meant absolutely nothing, but I set so much store on it, and it would affect how I lived my life, what I did that day, how I felt. And the day that I decided to stop weighing myself, which was purely because it was affecting my mental health, was the best decision I've made. I put the scales away, and for weeks and weeks I fought the urge to go and get them out just to check how much I weighed, and it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I have no idea what I weigh now, and honestly, it's amazing because you can really focus on the things that are really important, like how you feel, how you move, and generally what you're enjoying in life. So ask yourself again, what does that number really mean, and why does it really matter? Really ask yourself, why does it matter? There are some other fantastic ways that you can track your progress, which are going to show you so much more than that number on the scales. So a couple of those are taking measurements, good old-fashioned tape measurements. Use your clothes as a progress marker, and I'm not talking about whether you go to the store and you can suddenly buy a size 10 and before you could buy a size 14. It's looking at the clothes that you currently own, or the ones that you've had for a while. Do they fit more comfortably, or do they fit a little bit tighter? Can you fit into something that you previously couldn't? This is a fantastic way of working out whether you're making progress if your goal was, for example, weight loss. Start to think about some of the other benefits of a weight loss or fitness journey, which in my opinion are more important than how much physical space you're taking up. Things like, are you sleeping better? Are you making better decisions? Are you feeling much more driven? And can you concentrate better? Honestly, these are some of the most amazing things that come out of weight loss journeys, and I see it time and time again in clients when they can break out of the idea that all that needs to happen is they need to be in a smaller body. They realize the amazing benefits of what they're doing. And finally, you know what I'm going to say, take photos. I was told to take photos and I didn't because I couldn't bear to look at myself. I didn't until about 6 weeks in, and I regret it. I really do regret it. So please take photos. If you really don't want to look at yourself, just take them, put them into a file. You never have to look at them, but honestly, you will be grateful one day that you did. Photos will show you stuff that measurements and weight on the scale will not show you. Things like how you hold yourself, your body composition changes, and your posture. Alright, so point number 2 is that you've got unrealistic goals and expectations. It is fantastic to set goals and have some really solid ideas of where you want to be. But sometimes we get a little bit over enthusiastic and we can set really unrealistic timeframes or set goals that put so many restraints on us and really the focus is in the wrong place. And this becomes an issue when inevitably we just don't reach them. So when you're setting a goal, I want you to really think about why you're setting that goal. Really sit down and think about it in detail. What is the reason you want to achieve that goal? Let's say, for example, your goal is weight loss. The number one reason I hear for people wanting to lose weight is because it will make them happy. So I asked you guys over on Instagram how many of you thought that losing weight would make you happy, and honestly it actually blew my mind. 87% of people said that they thought that losing weight would make them happy. I mean, we're talking 2,540 people said that losing weight would make them happy, and you may be wondering why I'm so shocked by that, and that is because I can stand here and tell you from experience that it will never make you happy to lose weight, not losing weight alone. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I haven't said the same thing. Cohen asked me a couple of years ago when I was overweight why I wanted to lose weight when I was standing in front of the mirror crying about how I looked. I would have said to you, because it's going to make me happy. I'll be happier when I'm not as heavy. But I can now stand here on the other side and tell you that I am probably more critical of myself after I lost the weight than I ever was before. Physically losing weight is just one tiny aspect of the equation, and not only do you have a physical journey that you're going on, but you have a mental one that you have to adjust to. And I have personally found that it's something I am still working on, and I genuinely believe will be something I have to work on for the rest of my life. Now, that's not to say I'm not happy. I absolutely love my life. I love that I found a passion for calisthenics and for training others, that I can help other people achieve what they want to and have happy and healthy lives. Honestly, I would not rather be doing anything else. And day to day, I am generally happier and am much healthier than I used to be. But you're still going to have the rubbish days where you wake up on the wrong side of bed and everything just feels like the world's against you. You're going to have those days when you look in the mirror and you only ever see the flaws, and you're going to have days where you have no energy and you feel just there. So taking that back to having unrealistic goals and expectations is, how do you really measure happy? If losing weight to be happy is one of your goals, how do you measure how happy you are? It's almost impossible. There's always going to be good days and bad days. So when you're setting your goals, and I'm just going to use the example of weight loss, and you're trying to work out the reason why, try to think about more long-term and beneficial reasons rather than just generally to be happy. So that could be things like to have a better impact on my family and friends around me. Something I see all the time in clients, trust me. Something like, I can move better. I'm going to live a nice, long, healthy life free of lifestyle diseases. I know these things sound a little bit airy, but honestly, these are much better goals to have and will take so many restraints off you than to be happy. Because inevitably you're gonna have bad days and you're gonna think, well, I failed, I've not reached my goal. Alright, point number 3 is you're not giving it enough time. You guys agree with me on this one. Consistency is one of the most important factors of any fitness or weight loss journey. You are the sum of all the little things you're doing every single day. So if there's one day where you eat loads of food, or there's 1 week where you don't train, that means nothing, because what you want to think about is the long term, the big time frame. So something that I often come across in clients, or I'll get messages about, and I've experienced myself as well, is something will happen. It might be I felt really ill and tired, so I didn't train for a week, and I ate a little bit more because I felt like I needed more energy, and basically I've ruined all my progress, so I might as well just give it in. Now, I think rationally we can all agree that that thinking is flawed, but it's very easy just to give in to that natural instinct to go, you know what, I've made one slip up, I failed, I'm rubbish, I'm just going to go back to the beginning, I can't do this. So when you're in those positions, what I want you to try and think about is picturing in your head the time scale of your life. So from birth to death, picture it in your head, that long time scale, and think about this one day, this one event, or this one week on that time scale, and really think about the impact it will have on your entire life. Because I can guarantee it won't be remembered. You will not be thinking about this probably even in 4 weeks' time, let alone in 50 years' time. But what you will be thinking about in 50 years' time is that you were grateful for all the little things that you did, trying to be as consistent as possible to get you to the point that you're at now. A healthier, happier lifestyle. And you see a lack of progress, or you see it stop completely and you just give up. So consistency is really important, but it's also extremely important to have realistic timeframes. And we are talking, I mean, I say to clients, don't expect anything, like 12 to 16 weeks minimum. 12 to 16 weeks. But realistically, what you're doing here is creating a lifestyle. This is a lifelong thing. There's no crash diets here. There's no quick fixes. We're talking about living healthy, sustainable, and maintainable lifestyles. So I also suggest not to expect to see any results within the first 4 to 6 weeks. That's not to say that you're not going to see any progress, but it's such a volatile time, the first 4 weeks of a new journey that you're going on, that you are going to see fluctuations. You're going to see peaks and troughs, ups and downs, and you're in a state where those things are going to knock you off very quickly. Just put your head down, put one foot in front of the other, stop overanalyzing what you're doing, and just keep marching forwards and keep pushing. I can promise you, it is like clockwork. 2 weeks into a new program, you'll always get that message saying, I've messed up, I've seen an increase in the scales, my measurements have increased, I've eaten too much, whatever it might be, and there you go, I can't do this, I'm wasting my time. I feel super demotivated. And honestly, it happens like clockwork. And all it takes is you to go, no, you're doing the right thing, come on, stick with this, trust yourself, and I swear it always gets easier from there. The crazy thing is, we all know that progress is not linear. When you zoom into any form of progress tracking on a micro scale, you're going to see fluctuations. It's going to be up and down, peaks and troughs, good times, bad times. We know that and we expect it. But it just plays so much into our mentality that we are failing when you see what you don't want to see. I could show you any of my clients or even my own progress trackers, and you will see fluctuations in all the metrics. It is completely normal. It means that you're human and it means that you're in a healthy body, which is fantastic. So why would we not want that? If you are consistent with what you're doing and you're realistic with your timeframes, then you don't need to stress. You don't need to be constantly monitoring everything that's going on and overthinking it. Just trust the process. It's literally science. It will work and you will get there. All right, number 4 is you don't understand the basic concept. I know there is a lot of noise in the fitness and weight loss sector. You're getting so many mixed signals and mixed messages. I 100% understand because I was in that position. I just remember standing there going, I just want somebody to tell me what to do, to tell me what exercise to do and tell me exactly what to eat. But once I started learning the fundamentals, it made a whole lot of difference to not only how I felt, but how I progressed. The problem is, if you don't understand some of the basic concepts around nutrition and exercise, then you're kind of walking around in the dark. You're sort of blind to what's going on. And as soon as you stop seeing progress, you're going to assume that what you're doing is just not working, whereas that's usually not the case. We are really, really lucky this day and age that there are so many resources available to us for free at our fingertips, and we really owe it to ourselves to utilize these resources. So search out legitimate resources and really use your time to understand some of the core principles. It doesn't need to be in depth, just the basics will do, but learning the core principles around nutrition and exercise. Once you know that, you're going to understand if what you're doing is right, and you'll be able to justify in your head if you stop seeing progress or you see an increase on the scales or whatever it is that you're seeing, why that's happening and that it's completely normal. So for example, if you're looking to lose fat, there is only 3 things you need: a calorie deficit, you need to move more, and you need to be consistent. I've said this and I will keep saying this time and time again. It is as simple as that. You need to understand what a calorie deficit is, and this is quite, again, I know there's a lot of information out there, but consuming less food is going to be the main goal. So it could be reducing portion sizes, reducing snacks, it could be making healthier switches, so salsa for tomato ketchup, or reducing the amount of sugar in your coffee. Honestly, it's as simple as that, especially if you're just starting out. Move more, do anything. Clean the house more often, go ice skating, rock climbing, or go to a gym class if that's what you enjoy. Just find something that you enjoy and move your body as much as possible. And then finally, just do these things consistently. Set yourself those realistic time frames. Don't expect to see any changes for the first 12 to 16 weeks, and you'll be fine. All right, guys, I'm trying to keep this video short and sweet, so this is the last point. Point number 5 is stop overthinking it. Overthinking it, analysis paralysis, good enough is good enough. All right, I'm gonna say it again, good enough is good enough. There is no such thing as perfection. This is something I've been thinking about quite a lot recently. We're all looking for the perfect time to start, the perfect workout program, the perfect diet plan, but perfection doesn't exist. Perfect health doesn't exist. The perfect fitness level doesn't exist. Even someone who is the best at their sport, the best athlete at their sport, is still not perfect. They might have one perfect performance, but can they replicate that time and time again? Probably not. No one is perfect, so why are we trying to wait for perfection? I will say this until I'm blue in the face and you guys are sick of hearing it, but the perfect program, let's say for example if your goal is fat loss, is the one that's going to work for your lifestyle. The movement that you're going to be doing is something that you're going to enjoy, that you're going to be able to do consistently. The calorie deficit that you're going to create is going to be one that works for your lifestyle. That might be intermittent fasting, that might be reducing portion sizes, and that might be reducing snacks. But whatever it is, make it work for you. The goal really is to create a long-term, sustainable, healthy, and happier lifestyle. And that is in essence all that really matters. I asked you guys what would truly make you happy, and the answers were quite interesting. There was very, very few answers about aesthetics or physical appearance. I got answers like having good mental health, having more time in my day, having a career that I love, having a good impact on those around me. Nothing to do with how much space you take up physically or how fit and strong you are. Work on not overanalyzing every little thing that happens. If you have a little bump in the road, accept it and move on. It's totally normal and it's completely okay. So no more worrying about what intensity you should train at, how often you should be doing it, what you should be eating exactly, your macro split or anything like that. Let it all go. It will be so much easier once you've not got that weighing you down and making you question every single move that you take. Alright guys, that's what I've got for you. I'm going to keep this outro nice and short and sweet. So try to shift your mindset about what your goals are and why you have those goals, and be realistic and educated in your approach to them. Stop overthinking and comparing what you're doing to everyone else, and just enjoy the process and what you're doing right now. I promise you guys, it takes a little bit of work, but if you manage to master these things, things are going to get a whole lot easier for you and you're going to enjoy the process a hell of a lot more. If you found this video useful, then you might also find the how to stay motivated video useful, and I will link it up here for you to go and have a look at. If you have any more tips of your own, please drop them down below. I'd love to read them, and I'm sure it will help everyone else out as well. So I hope this video has made you think about the reasons why you may not be seeing progress. I know it's not quite the conventional information you'd expect to hear, but it's really, really important to me for you guys to hear this and just not be so hard on yourselves. You're doing your best. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to your mind, and just be nice to everyone else, and that's all that matters. Alright guys, I'm going to leave you at that. I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.